pleasure and fortune of crossing paths with Kathy in 1974 when we were both sophomores at UC Davis. I met her at the end of the year when we were both planning to do our junior abroad in India, Padua. From the very start of our friendship, we connected in a way that remained strong throughout our lives, even when we no longer lived together or saw each other less frequently. She was my roommate in Italy that year and helped me navigate straddling my two cultures. I was born in Italy and immigrated to the US when I was 4. I struggled at the beginning of our year in how to define myself. Was I American? Was I Italian? But because of Kathy's friendship and her total acceptance of me and my weirdness, I eventually realized that it really didn't matter. And I remember how she chuckled when I told her that I always thought that I was weird because I was Italian, but when I arrived in Italy that year, I realized that wasn't it at all. That was weird. So we bonded so well that year through our travels and other experiences. One being when our dorm was occupied by Italian students who were upset that their subsidized housing was being given to rich Americans. Kathy was not there the weekend when the occupation was underway. She came back on a Sunday afternoon and I explained what was happening. She was so angry, muttering nonstop. As we gathered our belongings hurriedly, as we only were given a very short time to gather our things, she opened up a pack of thumbtacks. Where those came from, I have no idea. And proceeded to lay them everywhere. In the bed, between the sheets, on the floor, on the chairs, on the windowsill, all the while complaining angrily. She did smile when I said, well, that'll teach them. Her humor was the best. We always laughed so much, even in the most serious of situations, which didn't require laughing. And there was unspoken triggers belonging just to the two of us. On Facebook, there was a meme that appears a lot, which says, we all have that friend we can't be sat next to. I would always forward this to her with the message, you, Kathy, always you. For 70, it's always you. After we were kicked out of the dorms, our director arranged for us to go to a nearby hotel. When Kathy and I went to our room, there was one double bed. Well, in Italian, a double bed is called letto matrimoniale, literally matrimonial bed. That's what they call a double bed. She wasn't having it. So I followed her downstairs where she wanted to complain or explain that we needed 2 single beds. And what she said to the guy downstairs, he goes, yeah, we need 2 single beds in the town. She goes, non siamo mica sposate, sai? We're not married, you know. Throughout the year, during our travels, but in general, just being her roommate and dealing with the normal everyday happenings in Italy, there was so much laughter. When we returned to the States, I lived with Kathy in Davis, and then eventually atop the Broadway Tunnel in San Francisco with Paula for a year, and then our good friend Veronica for another. We all had low-paying jobs in North Beach, but every Friday we always went out to dinner. Priorities, you see, Kathy would say. We had so much fun. Dinner in the living room watching SNL or some movie which we would inappropriately narrate, and each time, without a miss, some